Shut up!
Welcome back to Conversations with Carol and Cheryl. Hey, Cheryl.
Hey, Carol, how are you?
I'm doing great. So, today we are going to talk about retirement and 55 and over communities. I recently retired after working 30 years for the same company. And a few years back, I purchased a condo in a 55 and over community in Florida where there are over 40 clubs.
Wow.
Now, the clubs, I'll give you some examples. There's a pool, there's shuffleboard, pickleball, boating, biking, bridge, dance clubs, the garden club. So there's every kind of club. So this is a very social community that I bought into. I've already participated with the bike club and the pickleball club. I've done some swimming in the pool. However, the heater in the pool is broken right now.
Been any paramedics involved in these activities yet?
No.
Okay.
So I've been here and I've made some observations that I want to share with you about the people that have retired and that are in this community. Thinking maybe all people in 55 and over or people who have retired fit this profile. I'm trying to kind of analyze it and put these people into buckets just to logically organize it in my head. So here's some of my observations. First, people that are here started planning their retirement early so that they had money and means in place when they wanted to retire. Now, this is 55 and over. I'm 57. I'm retired. The ages here, probably the average age is maybe 70. So half are under 70, half are over 70. But obviously, to be retired, you have to plan. Everybody here has a regular sleep, exercise, and mental exercise routine. This community basically shuts down about 9 o'clock at night, 9:30, and ramps up, I would say, around 5 a.m. People are out walking, jogging, riding bikes. They're just out and about doing stuff, which tells me they go to bed at a certain time, they get up, and they kind of have the routine where they do the same thing every day. Most people are type B. I have not met any type A people here.
What's type B?
Well, type A would be really intense person. Type B is somebody that's really easygoing, go with the flow, doesn't have to be the leader, doesn't have to be in charge, can play well in the group. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
Whereas
that's the
type
majority.
A,
Is B there?
yeah, they're all B.
Wow.
Whereas in the workplace where I worked, everyone was type A, like super intense, deliverables. We got to deliver. I got to be in charge.
Right.
You don't have any of that here. People are just very relaxed, easygoing, also very friendly and welcoming. Everybody is so nice here. They're so friendly.
I wonder if they were nice and friendly at work.
Probably not, because I wasn't. But I'm not working, so I'm not I'm not so uptight.
Right.
And I'm getting a good night's sleep. And I don't have anything to do. So, of course, I'm going to be easygoing. But I wonder if the type A's die before they get here. No, seriously.
Probably. Yeah, you have a good point there.
I think those are the ones that don't survive. And that's part of this observation that I'm making. Another really important piece, everybody here is in excellent physical condition. There are 85-year-old people here doing 40-mile bike rides.
Wow.
There are 90-year-olds playing tennis, almost like a freak of nature. People here are in excellent condition. And then my last observation is every single person here has really good health care. Let's say you have an ailment. There are cancer survivor here. There's stroke survivors, heart attack survivors. But obviously, they had really good health care and doctors. to get through it. So it's not like they didn't never had an ailment. They have, but they've had great health care. So that's important. So those are kind of my observations about the people.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool the other day when we were talking and you said that everybody there is a survivor. And that's a neat
Yeah.
way of putting it. Like you said, they survived work, they survived their kids, they survived health issues, they survived everything to make it to that point. And I never thought of retirees as survivors.
Yeah.
And I never thought of them as your observations are good. That the type A's probably didn't make it. You're right. I never thought of that.
Yeah.
Um,
So anyway, so when you come into the community and you start join the clubs, you have to be a little bit assertive to walk over to the pickleball court and say, "Hey, can I play? Here's some basic information that everybody wants to know about you." I don't want to sound negative, but people are like super nosy. When you're first meeting people, there is basic information you want to know about people. And I want to know information too. For example, people want to know, do you own or rent? That's the first thing. Are you an owner? Where do you live on the complex? They want to know where you're from because nobody is, I guess, from Florida. Everybody's from another city. For some reason, the city that you're from, they can kind of profile you and put you in a bucket. They want to know what kind of work you did and what did you do in your job. And I guess that's another way to categorize. And I think what people are doing is comparing themselves. Like, oh, am I smarter than this person? Am I dumber than this person? Did I make more money than this person? But they also want to know basic information. And then lastly, how many kids do you have and are you married or single? If you're married, you do things as couples. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of like couple activities, like these dances. So you would go as a couple.
right.
If you don't have a partner to dance with and everybody there is a couple, that's a problem. Really, what I've noticed, what it comes down to here for the snowbirds come here with their friends.
What are snowbirds?
So snowbirds are people that come to the 55 and over community for like 4 or 5 months, and then they go back to their city.
Are they usually renters or do they own?
Both. So I guess I'm a snowbird because I own here and then I have another house in another location. What these guys do is they come down with their friends and they party really hard for 4 or 5 months. There's drinking involved, there's dancing. It's a party. They're not working, they're not with their families, they're not with their grandkids, they're with their squad, and it's a party.
That's funny. What do they start at like noon and go to bed at like 6?
So that's kind of interesting. And I
Yeah.
don't drink, so I'm kind of excluded from that party. And I'm not a dancer. Like I was invited to one of the dances. I'm like, yeah, it's not really my thing. Those are my observations. And the last thing, after talking to some real alums here that have been here for like 30 years, they said it's like 10th grade. There's a lot of cliques and drama. They told me I'm too young to be here and not to get too involved too early
Wow.
because you can burn out on it.
Oh my God. What do they call you, young people?
Oh, the tight skins.
I love that. The tight skins.
I know they called
That
me a
is
tight
so
skin.
funny. They're
Yeah.
talking about your face, right?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what they're looking at. Maybe on a future show, we can interview one of the alums
Oh, that'd be
and get the
great.
real story of what's happening here because I don't really know. You know, I'm a novice.
That's funny.
So I think there's all kinds of stuff happening.
Do you think there's sexually transmitted diseases happening there?
STDs? Yeah.
Uh-huh. You know, there's that one really wild retirement community in Florida. They're known for it. I mean, it is like super crazy there. So are the single men considered like, are they the women going for them like crazy?
Yeah, because there's more women than men. The husbands die off, so there's all these women. Every guy, there's like multiple women lined up, like harems.
Oh my God. So do you have any funny stories, like any funny run-ins with the loose skins?
Oh my gosh, yes. So they have a calendar of events, and the lap swim is from 7 in the morning, no, from 6 to 7 in the morning and from 9 to 10 at night. Well, who swims during those hours? I don't.
Right.
So where my condo is, I can look across the street and see the pool and see when it's empty, and I run over there, move the lap lane, the dividing line, the line, and start doing my laps. So I'm in there going back and forth, and I'm a very skilled swimmer, doing my thing. I'm on my own island, and this guy shows up who's about 110, and he wants to swim the other way. So I'm going the long way, and he wants to go the short way. And I came to find out later that because I was going the long way, not during the designated lap swim hours, he could trump me, but he didn't. He could have told me, no, lap swim is during that set time, and I'm going to swim crossways. Too bad. But he
Hmm.
didn't do that. I asked him, I'm like, do you swim long ways? And I knew he didn't because he's 110. And he goes, no, I swim short ways. And I said, okay, well, I will work around you. Just do your swim and I will swim around you and it'll be fine. And then I asked him his name. I'm like, what's your name? And he's like, Bill. I'm like, hi, Bill. He gets in, and the way that he was swimming, he never put his head under the water. He's just moving his arms, and his legs are like dangling. They're almost touching the floor of the pool. So his one lap, I'm doing 3 to his every one. Pretty easy for me to just go behind him. So about halfway through, I say to him, I think we could be the neighborhood synchronized swimming team because we're totally in sync and, we're working really well together. He goes, yeah.
He's probably pissed off that you're doing the long
Was.
way and he
He was
can do
so
the
annoyed. He was so annoyed. And I even said to him, I know swimmers are very particular about their workout. He's like, yeah. And I am too. Like he's
right.
bothering me, but I'm trying to be nice about it. And I
Yeah.
didn't, I only had a few more minutes to go. I get done with mine. He's still doing his thing. And I asked him, do you want me to put the rope back? And he's like, I don't care. And I'm like, well, I'm going to put it back so you don't have to. So I put the rope back. Then I get out and he's right under me. And I have like super long legs and he's staring at me at this point. Tight skin, long legs. Then he's looking at my camel toe. And I'm like, Bill, I know that was really annoying. Thank you so much for working with me. And he's just looking right up at my camel toe, going, no worries. It's all good.
What's your name? Stay here and talk a
Yeah,
while.
yeah, it's okay. Yeah, I was annoyed, but I'm not anymore.
Oh my gosh. What a little camel toe can't do.
Oh my gosh. Even at 110,
That is too
I
funny.
still got it, sister. It's just been great. It's just been so fun.
Yeah, it sounds fun.
Just so different from working.
So you've only been retired now, let's see, a month?
Like 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
3
Wow.
weeks. I know. I know.
So wonderful.
Everybody that I work with is dead to me now. They're all dead to me.
They're all gone.
Even though they're still calling me and texting me.
Oh my God.
We miss you. You're dead to me. Stop calling me.
That's funny. Yeah, it's like a whole nother lifetime, isn't it? I bet.
It is. I don't even feel like I work there. And it's only been 3 weeks because I've moved on physically and mentally. And with all my activities, I'm making new friends.
Yeah.
But it's weird assimilating into the world. We worked in a building, the same building for 30 years with armed guards, with the same people. Then you come out into the real world.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, well, do I tell them where I work? Do I tell them how many kids I have? Is that too much information?
It's literally like finally getting out on good behavior.
It is. It really
Or
is.
like you served your time, and now you get to walk out of the building free and clear.
Yeah.
And we were talking about that kind of how funny it is how you ease into a job. You start doing odd jobs and then you get your education, then you get your job, and then you stay in that job pretty much most of your career. And then when it's over, it's like Monday you go in and Tuesday you don't have a job anymore for the rest of your life.
It's very final.
I
It's
think, and
final.
we were talking, I was saying, I think they should ease people part-time into it,
Mhm.
share
Mhm.
their knowledge, share their information, and then go out the door, like at least like narrow it down to like maybe 3 to 6 months.
Yeah.
But
I
I don't know.
think
I think
people
probably
do
most
that.
people are ready to go right then and there. I know I am. And I've got 5 years left. So,
Yeah. I think I eased out of it maybe the last month. I handed off all my work and then just, took over the hotline.
right,
So I did kind of ease out of it, but it's the people and the relationships, the routine, and then knowing how to act in the real world. I don't really know how to act. How much information do I share with people? But you know me, I talk to everybody. Everyone's my
right,
best friend right away. But it's hard to know what's appropriate and what isn't.
right, right.
And basically, what I decided is I'm just going to be myself. And I know I'm a weirdo. They're about to find out I'm a weirdo. And I don't really care. If you
Yeah,
don't like my weirdness, then you're not my people.
right,
But I think it takes a lot to do that, to put yourself out there and be vulnerable and try and make new friends. There's definitely people are comparing themselves and judging you.
so you're
But
starting kind of like high school all over again, but
it is. It really
uh,
is.
yeah, but with older people.
Yeah. I mean,
That's
at
funny.
least at work, everybody knew me, and those were my people. They
Hmm.
maybe didn't like me, but nobody interrupted me. Nobody was mean to me. It was a very civil, maybe not even a real environment
Right.
almost. People were polite, but you get out in the real world, it's not really like that.
Yeah.
Like I had one guy yell at me at pickleball today because I took one of his balls,
Uh-huh.
and he was right. And I'm mature. I'm like, you're right. That was your ball. I'm sorry.
Was he
But,
hostile or was he just like,
well,
as far
it's
as like
competitive.
athletic yelling, like, hey?
It's competitive. We
Okay.
lost the point because of it. That would never happen in the workplace. You know what I
Right.
mean? People would say it, but behind your back.
Right. Yeah. Don't they know the manners? So, and you also live near your parents, right? Down
Hmm.
there?
So
How's that going?
that's a whole nother dynamic.
It's a whole nother episode.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm actually loving it. I love spending time in their world, their way. And I love talking to them and sharing meals with them. Luckily, they're not dependent on me for anything, and I'm not dependent on them. So I don't need their money. I don't need their stuff. I can just sit with them and enjoy them
That's
the way
nice.
they are, and they don't need me for anything. They can take care of themselves. They're fully independent and self-sufficient.
What a blessing.
So I think it's the best time of our lives, really. It is. It's really fun talking to them and finding out some of the history, the family history, things you'd never knew about them or their parents or brothers or sisters. So it's fun having those discussions.
Isn't the most shocking part about finding out those stories is that you are just now finding them out?
I know.
It's like, what?
I
You mean
know.
you didn't decide to tell me that years ago?
Well, they probably did, and I didn't care to listen, or
Yeah,
didn't care or whatever. I don't
I
know.
I had a relative I found out that died from sneezing. They couldn't stop sneezing.
What?
They couldn't stop
Were they
sneezing.
like allergic to the cat or what was it?
No, it was like a funky, I don't know, it's like a real serious problem. They just never stop sneezing. And
Yeah.
then they just wear themselves down,
But
wear
don't
out.
you sneeze because your heart stops?
I think that might
Uh,
be a myth.
is that a
But yeah,
myth? Okay.
yeah. But
Oh,
yeah, I didn't know that for years. I was like, wow.
wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's unusual. That's an unusual one.
Yeah.
But that's what you find out when you
Right.
start listening. I
That's
guess when
true.
you're a kid and growing up, you're the center of the universe. And then I think you have a bit of a role reversal with your parents where they're becoming more of the kid and you're becoming more of the adult.
And I think their long-term memory after a certain age starts kicking in too,
Hmm.
more so than their short term, because I remember I would sit out on the deck with my dad and he would just start reminiscing about all the stories growing up. But like you would ask him, did so and so bring the mail in? I don't know, I can't remember. I think they hit a certain age, they start digging in the past. And
Yeah,
then that's why suddenly you find out all these really interesting things.
I know. It's true. I've learned a lot and I enjoy it. I really enjoy sitting with them.
Yeah,
And then my sister recently moved here. So I've been reconnecting with her, which has been terrific. And then having all of us together,
that's
that's been
nice.
fun too. I'm sure that will end.
Oh, yeah.
We'll go back to our default setting of whatever.
She makes me
Yeah,
sick.
you're not the boss of me.
Right. Don't touch me.
I get the window seat.
Is she younger or older than you? And is she in the retirement community?
She's 7 years younger than me. She's still working and she's not in the retirement.
Okay. So she's tight skin.
Yeah, she's really tight skinned. But she's about 8 miles away. So just far enough away that we can't pop over, but
Right.
close enough to come for dinner or do a music festival or something.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's really nice. Enjoyed this 3 weeks thoroughly. It's been amazing.
Wow. I envy you. I cannot wait for my time to come.
I think you would like it here, except it's too hot. It'll be too hot for you.
I don't do hot all that well. I think I'm more of a winter person now in my
Mhm.
older, well, I'm not that old. I prefer winter now at this age.
I don't even know if you could be a snowbird because it's kind of hot.
Yeah.
It's hot.
Well, I'm overweight, as you know, and I've always been so white. I had a blue tint. So the beach scene was never, even when I had, a nice figure as a young lady, the beach scene was still never my thing. I always felt I was, too hippie, too white, too many, when we talked about the opal colored veins, the turquoise and the sapphires running through my legs. So yeah, so beach and stuff like that was never my thing. I think if I came down to visit, see if I can't find a sugar daddy,
Oh, yeah.
I would enjoy that. But yeah, long term, I don't think I could handle the heat so much. I told you when I went to Vegas, my dry eye very seriously. It's like someone threw sand in my face. So
Really?
yeah,
Did you start sneezing?
no, no. But I was thinking maybe that's where I would retire.
Oh,
And
Vegas?
yeah, where all the action is. See, that's what I like. I like all that stuff. But
I
I
know.
thought, why not live down the street and have that there if you want it? And the housing is inexpensive. But when I got there and I could barely keep my eyes open because of the dry eye, I was a little disillusioned and discouraged.
What
But
was the dry eye? Just because it's so dry there?
I guess so. Yeah. I mean, I had to put wet washcloths on my eyes at night.
Wow.
I could barely keep them open come nighttime.
It's because you're used to heat and humidity.
Yeah.
You got out there and your body was like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
no, rejection.
But yeah, I'm sure I'd enjoy Florida, but I don't know if I could take the heat year round.
Yeah, I have never been here in the summer, and I've never been here for a storm, like a really bad hurricane or
Oh,
something.
yeah.
I don't really have enough information, but I can tell you Florida in November is like Rehoboth in September. It's
Right.
magnificent. 70s, sunny. This morning it was like 54. Open the windows, air it out. It was nice. It's nice.
Yeah.
But I'm sure in the summer it's awful. So is Virginia. I think that's what we're used to.
Well, I like your observations. I think they're pretty insightful, especially the survivor thing that you mentioned the
Yeah,
other day.
I don't think everyone makes it.
And the type B making it.
Yeah, they're all type B here.
And we were talking too the other day, you're going to kind of find out what their habits are, right? To see what the common habits are with people
Mhm.
that have made it this far, the survivors.
Mhm. Mhm.
That will be interesting.
I know they all exercise. It's
Hmm.
not like super intense. Just go for a walk. Stretch and tone. We have all these classes here. Stretch and tone, wet and wild in the pool. There's the walking group and then all the other physical stuff.
Yeah.
But everybody is physical.
They just move, right?
They just move their body. And the dancing, I think that's a big one. I think you would love that.
Oh, I would love that. Yeah.
Different kind of bands and different kind of dances and dress up
Oh, that's
like
fun. I would love
themes.
that.
Yeah.
Are they big drinkers down there?
Yeah. Big
Yeah.
drinkers. You would fit right in.
I think, yeah, baby. I
You
think that
would.
helps make for the type B.
Maybe you're right. That's a
Yeah.
good point. I
They're
don't know
probably
when they
type A
start.
till they start drinking.
That's true. And I don't know when they start drinking. Maybe noon. I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't drink, so it's not really my thing. I know what's going on. And then I don't know what else is going on with the drinking. Sometimes that can get out of control. Like,
Hmm.
the whole partner swap. I don't think any of that's going on, but
You
who
don't
knows?
think it's going on?
No.
I
What
wonder.
what does that mean?
I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe maybe not knowingly it's going on.
I mean that happens everywhere.
Yeah,
But I don't really see any of that craziness.
that's good.
I'm sure it's happening. We'll find out when we
Yeah.
interview one of the old timers here. I'm sure she can tell us
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, I would love to know what she has to say about.
One thing that I love here is the girlfriends. There's a lot of women girlfriends. So a lot of the widows just have their girlfriends. They don't want another man and they just do stuff with their friends. They go to the movies and go grocery shopping together.
Yeah. I mean,
Uh,
it's like the best of everything. You have someone that completely understands you. You have someone that's fun to hang around with, enjoys stuff, and then you guys go home to your own room.
yeah,
How perfect is that?
yeah.
So-
And then some of them, like if they have doctor's appointments, like your colonoscopy, call a friend. Who needs a man? You just call your girlfriend and say, I need a
Yeah,
driver.
that's cute.
Yeah, so there's this whole support system here for that. Because, like I said, there's more women than men. But
Do
then
the
the
men support each other? Do you
uh,
notice?
I think so. Yeah,
Okay,
they seem to. Yeah, they do.
that's good.
There's some. I have met some of the single men, and they're super nice guys. And then they hang out together and do the guy things.
Wow, retirement sounds nice.
Yeah, but like I said, I think you have to plan. You really
Hmm.
have to plan to make it happen.
We need to
It's
do an episode on what you did to make it happen.
the planning piece.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you and I are the same age, and I would like to know what you did. I mean,
Yeah.
I know what I should have done, but it would be good information for you. Are pretty successful.
Get up and go to work every day.
Right. Yeah.
And then also a couple of the women that I talked to that lost their husbands in retirement to cancer or heart attacks, that was devastating. A lot of some of the men did not leave the money to their partners.
Oh my God.
I know, and that was a shock.
Wow. Are these first wives they didn't leave it to, or second wives?
I don't know. I didn't get that nosy. So as a woman, you have to protect yourself
Yeah.
financially, even if you're married. So there's
Right.
stuff like that, but that seemed to be a profile. Mostly couples, the two incomes, and I think it's easier to plan if you have the two incomes. That would be the biggest thing, I think. But you can do it. I mean, it's still doable.
Yeah. I pay it forward instead of paying it backwards. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm like behind the 8 ball instead of in front of it. So,
Yeah.
but that's okay. I mean, it's worked for me, but I've always owed out. So once I retire, I hopefully will not be in that position
Yeah.
and I will be able to live on what I have.
Right. And I think
Because,
you will.
yeah, I
You'll
think
be
I'll
up.
be okay.
You'll be fine.
Yeah.
But you're planning. You're thinking it through, you're planning, you're making choices now so that you can have that in the future. And when the 5 years comes, you'll be ready.
Right.
You'll be
Yeah.
in that position.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can do a whole episode on that.
Yeah, that would be
There's
great.
so much to it.
Young people too need to know they don't need the big house. Well, that's my opinion, but I still think it's the right way to go. These young couples are buying these big homes. Put your money away. You don't need the big house. But I guess that's one of those things you can't, you have to live it to know it.
Yeah, and everyone's different. Like for me and you, less was more, but we still spent money on stuff. We just
Yeah,
didn't spend it on our houses. We spent it
right.
on other things.
That's true.
And I'll tell you what, there's some gorgeous houses down here. These big Spanish mansions.
Wow.
Who lives in these houses?
Right.
Who can afford these houses? And who wants to heat them, clean them, and put window treatments on them?
Right.
They're gorgeous, right on the water.
You better like the color of your walls because you have to hire a professional painter to change
No
it.
kidding. So maybe there's a sugar daddy down here for you in one of those Spanish mansions. I
Oh
don't
God,
know.
that would be awesome. Put in the grave one on a banana peel.
Yeah, there you go. There's your retirement plan. Bam.
Then I'll find out he didn't leave it to me.
Anyway, that's my first impressions of the 55 and over and 3 weeks into retirement.
Yeah, you'll
So,
have to give us another update in like 6 weeks.
yeah, I'll give you another update, but I want to try and get somebody that lives here that's been here for like 30 years. What's really happening?
That would
The
be great.
reality.
Yeah.
These are just first impressions, what I have, my observations, but I think there's so much going on here that I don't know about.
So you're going to be on the hunt to find out what really goes down in the 55 and over
Yes,
community.
absolutely. I'm going to be
That would be
living it.
great.
It's going to happen
Great.
to me. I'm just going to get up every day and it's going to go on around me.
That's
I
right.
can't be on my little island.
Yeah.
No, that's not reality.
Well, I look forward to it. That's great.
All right, Cheryl. Well, this was fun.